Hello, everyone, and welcome to our live broadcast. We're calling it a cuppa with Jen Squared. I believe it's officially our new podcast, you guys. So we're like really showing this off in the co-op to start with, and we're so excited to have you here. So if you are here joining us live, please let us know. We're in the comments. I can see the comments. So if you're here, let us know. We would love to know if you have any questions for us or anything of that nature. And we're really conscious human beings, and Jennifer and I have a lot of really interesting similarities, which we're going to play with and share with you. And today we're just kind of going to get to know each other. So I am really excited to introduce my friend Jen Dadigan
I get an
Williams.
introduction. I love this, Jen. Thank you.
Jennifer Dadigan Williams is an amazing human being. She is also a 3 of diamonds. She is also a Jennifer. She was also born on July 12th. And so we have all of those things in common. Isn't
Yes.
that so
And
interesting?
for those that don't know, Jen's also set July 12th. So
Yes, we are both
we're
born.
birthday twins. We're named twins.
Yeah, we are. It's so fun. And Jennifer is an EFT practitioner. She is an amazing mentor. She is such a beautiful space holder. And Jen, I would love for you to finish introducing yourself, and then I'll play with who I am.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
You kind of covered it.
I
I
did.
am I always open things by just saying I'm a Jane of all
Yeah.
trades. I've done all the things, as have you, Jen. And
Mhm.
where I've landed in the last year is with EFT, which is perfect. It kind of brings a lot of my past skills or belief systems and spirituality all together into one pretty way of delivering it to people I work with. So EFT coach is one thing, life coach, you name it. But I am currently it was so funny, Jen and I are talking about me trying to introduce myself a little bit. And I was like, where am I right now? And a great question was, who am I? And I think, who am I? And aren't we all trying to figure that out throughout our whole life? And if you're not still trying to figure out who you are, then I invite you to think about always doing that. So I'm kind of there right now. And I also, before Jen introduces herself, I just want to say Jen is someone that's been in my life now for going on 6 years, but it feels like we've known each other for forever. We
For
have
lifetimes.
lifetimes. We have never actually met in real life, which is really
So weird.
really weird to me.
Mhm.
And I've just kind of feel like she's a mentor to me and someone who has always been pulling the mentorship out of me. She's
Mhm.
always been seeing me and telling me I'm also a mentor. I am also a teacher. I am also meant to do these things. But Jen always has felt like 2 steps ahead, not ahead or behind, but like how do I even say that, Jen? I'm not like, I don't feel behind you, but you're just leading the way. You're such a path blazer. And I've been watching you do this for many years, and I've been so grateful that you've always encouraged me to do the same. And I know she's done massage. We both done massage too, by the way.
Mhm.
And you do
That's
currently.
fun.
Is
I
that right?
mean, like there's
You
some people
dabble
who
in
I will
it?
massage.
Body work. We're like, body work, mental work, spiritual work, all the bodies,
It
energy.
all goes together, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
It
But then I know
does.
you're master Reiki teacher, a master
Yeah.
numerologist, just an incredible human being, mentor, leader, the leader and why can't I think of the word? The one who started the co-op community.
Oh, I'm the creatrix of the co-op. Yes.
Badass creatrix, period.
Yes. I
Yeah.
love it.
And I'll let you finish introducing yourself. But I
Thank
had
you. I have to say that having a mirror of yourself like introduce you is like it's like making me blush. I'm like, we're so awesome. It's so fun. Yeah, if we've never met, I'm Jen. I'm Jen Kohler, and I am also a Jen of all trades. I think that that's really common amongst this three of diamond pathway, because what we choose in our life is we know that there's many pathways to do something in the physical, so we have to try them all out. And so if and when we hit this point in spirituality and we find purpose, that's when we really land. That's when we really land into it. And I'll just say we, because three of diamonds, we're both the three of diamonds, and I am a master numerologist, and so I've been studying this for a little while now. And this is the thing I've taken away from this three of diamonds contract energy that we both hold, is that it was easy for us to sort of be flighty and like, I can do all of the different things and I enjoy so many different things. But when you find the purpose and when you really find the thing, I think it really helps you to land, right?
Yes. Oh my God.
And so I lived on a commune. I like have been a secretary, a receptionist. I like went through anthropology, French major. Like I am like, oh, let me try every single thing under the sun. I love to cook. I love to learn. I love to play with the garden. I love to do so many things. And I did become a massage therapist and a birth doula, which really led me to my path of spirituality. I went and I immediately became a Reiki master teacher. It found me immediately. Like as soon as I became a massage therapist and a doula, Reiki found me. And that really helped me on my spiritual path as well. And so I've been doing all of that for almost 20 years. And in 2016, is that right? I did Jaya Rose's her like Rock Your Videos program, and
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer was doing her VA work.
Yeah.
And that's when we met.
Yeah.
And that is like so beautiful that we still are in relationship together. I think it's really powerful.
We met at that time, and then come to find out, as we already mentioned, we're birthday twins, name twins. We both are friends of Jaya Rose, and Jaya
Hi,
and Jen
Jaya.
met. Hi, Jaya. At the commune, correct? Is that where you?
Yeah, that's how we know each
And
other.
Jaya and I, so Jen also, we both lived in Northern California, in a
Right,
place
in
called
Humboldt.
Humboldt County. So,
Yeah,
and Humboldt County is where
so
I
weird.
met Jaya, and who also brought us together. And I'm hearing myself echo. That's
Oh, I don't hear you.
okay. And then, so that's in common, that we both
Nice,
come from
Misa.
the redwood forest and very connected to the redwoods. And I mean, I love all the mystics. I love to think about fairies. And when I was a little girl, I played in the redwoods and in the forests, and I was an elf or a fairy. That was who I was. Full.
Oh, yeah, you're like a little fairy earthly creature for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. And then just fast forwarding to meet Jen through this online platform, and then to recognize how much we have in common and where our
Mhm.
paths have been really interlacing all along. It's just super amazing. It's the most amazing thing to have someone in your life that is, like Jen said earlier so beautifully, when it's your mirror. And then
Yes, it's
and
amazing.
as you were talking earlier about being the Jen of all trades, and how when you really find the thing that lights you up, that when I talk to people about, so there was a time in my life where, and maybe Jen you'll relate, where having all these different um, trying all these different things, careers
Mhm.
out, and then not wanting to stay. I always like completed things. Like I have a bachelor's in human development. I was a RDA, registered dental assistant. I go all the way, and then I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I did that. Now I'm done, and now I'm ready to do something else.
Done.
Yeah, and then I see friends and people who stay in the same career forever, and
Mhm.
they're like ready to retire, and they're doing their thing, and I'm like, I could have done that, I guess. And my knee jerk reaction is, oh no, I could never.
No.
But there's also a part that feels like, did I do it wrong, or I'm not as good as someone who I don't have the stick to itiveness. And then I realized that, oh no, the one beautiful chord that has been the golden chord, and I'm sure you'll relate, Jen, because coming back to you saying what's the one thing that lights you up.
Mhm.
Every single thing I ever did through all my life, no matter how many careers I did, there was always the connection to people. And no matter what I was doing, whether they were in my dentist chair or on my massage table, or I was training them as a personal trainer, whatever
Right.
was happening, we were actually always connecting on a soul, like on a deeper level. And I was always helping them through some big life thing. It was never about the teeth or the massage or the exercise. It was always about what's really going on.
It's all about right here.
And that's the thing that has always lit me up, is pulling that and being the space for people. And
Yes.
I've got to relate.
I absolutely 100% relate to that. Yes, because I think that that would be the thread that has been in my life as well, is the connection to humankind and to the soul. I've always felt like that. So I mean, I can't imagine not feeling that way, right?
Yeah. Well, and I wanted to ask you, being the numerologist person, is that a 3 of diamonds? You did say earlier that we want to try on all the things. Is that a 3 of diamonds thing, or is that a nature, nurture, Jen thing? Like what do you think on that?
I mean, I know you, I know me, and I actually know a couple of other 3 of diamonds, one of whom is in our Thrive and Prosper group with us, and I think that's so fascinating. There are 3 of us in there.
3 of diamonds.
It's so interesting, but I would say that that's true of the 3 of diamonds, is that one who walks that pathway, the person who walks that pathway is often attracted to many different things until they find the thing. Okay, I love you, kid. I have a wonderful child who is like, please come in, please, mommy, can I have blah blah blah.
I love it. I was gonna say at the beginning of this, but I forgot till just now. What a perfect time. Thank you, wife. Your moms, you might hear kids come in. You might have partners come in. We might hear dogs barking. This is just a real raw.
This is never going to ever be perfect. That's the point of that story.
It's Jen and I, so we're good at doing things as we are.
as we are. That's right. We come as we are. We ask you to come as you are. We are accepting of everybody, okay? Like, I mean, maybe not everybody, but you know what I mean. Okay, so I have some questions for us. I pulled a card, and I thought that we could allow that to guide some of our conversation, since we've gotten to know each other just a tidge. And hopefully you'll get to know us really well as you listen to our podcast on a weekly basis. But I drew a card for us, and it is called the Manifesting and Doing card. And I thought it was really interesting, and it really brought up a lot of things that we've been talking about in our group right now in Thrive and Prosper. So I'm just going to keep saying Thrive and Prosper.
It is, yeah, just a little quick shameless plug. I'm in that group. No shame in this game.
No, there's no shame over here,
this is
right?
the 2nd round, and I've been privy to and in, and I gush about it whenever I get a chance, because it's when I first was started into that group, I thought, oh, well, I'm not really in a space to think about money right now. And when I think of prosper, I mean, it felt like a money thing. And then I was like, oh my gosh, how did I ever even think that anything that women come together and do is, and men, I don't know if are men invited into that one? No. Okay, so that's a woman thing.
Not right now.
That when we get together and communicate, and we're here to thrive and prosper, it's about our entire being. It's about everything.
Right.
And that have been brought into this container, and the sharing that's happening, and the healing, and the self-awareness that's occurring.
It's so good.
You might just get an amen. Yeah.
I love it so much, because it's like, yes, it's about money, and yes, it's about love. It's about wealth. It's about, what does thriving actually feel like and look like for you? What does prosperity mean to you? And that's my favorite. I think it's one of my favorite questions, because what prosperity actually means to me is walking my child to school every morning. I mean, that's like my number one, like, I know I'm doing it well because I get to do that. That's like my favorite thing in the whole world. And I pick him up every day after school. I am thriving and I am prospering. I am creating the life that I desire to see in the world. And that is all of the wealth. I mean, yes, I want money too. Don't get me wrong. I think that money should be in the hands of women who give a shit about life
One,
and about love and about humanity and about consciousness. But it's not about the money. It's
money is
never
a
about the
piece of
money.
it, right? Yeah, it's just like that's one part of the whole, and it's all one. So,
Right.
it's to be a
Yes.
part of the whole piece of puzzle. Yeah. And
It's so good.
I
Okay. So here are some questions. Here's that card. So if you feel like, do you feel like it has to be hard? Do you feel like you have to work hard? Do you feel like things have to be difficult? Do you feel like money has to be hard? Do you feel like manifesting has to be hard? And do you believe in your ability to be the creator of your life? That's kind of the lower side of the card. And so I'm going to just leave that with you now because I have so much to say, but I want to hear what you have to say.
Gosh, and I want to hear what other people have to say too.
Yeah, and I'd love to hear in the comments what other folks have to say too.
Mesa,
Misa.
Misa. Oh my gosh, it's so close to my auntie Mesa. My mom's sister was Mesa. Anyway, what came through for me, Jen, when you were reading that just now, was that just like everything in my life, I feel like I go through phases.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, there have been times where I felt doubtful of myself
Mm-hmm.
and my ability to create my reality, my ability to manifest.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are times in my life where I couldn't feel like more close to my magic
Mm-hmm.
and miracles. And I feel in tune with universe's synchronicities, which has been popping off like crazy for like 6 months now. I'm just like, oh, I'm riding this wave of synchronistic, beautiful, miraculous. And when I say miraculous, I mean in the smallest things, but I see miraculousness in the smallest things, and that makes my life feel like fairy magic dust all the time. And so there are times in my life though where I don't see a lot of that, or I'm not looking for it because I'm in like a sad space or a withdrawn space or a disconnected space. And I also notice that I can intentionally do that. That's something that I love to speak on too. Sometimes I'm intentionally being in a space of I'm choosing to feel shitty right now. Mm-hmm. I'm choosing to be in my feels. I want to be an asshole right now, and I just don't even care. I don't want to feel connected to anything magical because right now I'm feeling this very human side of myself.
Absolutely.
It is. Is it more fun to be in the magic and the miracles and the fairy dust? Yeah, because like that's super fun. And that's probably 80% of my life. But like there is that other side that it may not be fun, but it's vital and it's real. And I'm really grateful for my women, my people in my life, such as yourself, when I'm in that space. That's the only other thing I was gonna say about that is when we go through the phases, how important it is who are your people. Because I can do a lot on my own. I am someone that goes into my crab shell. We're both Cancers. I go into my cave and I lick my own wounds because I need to get really clear connection with universe and messages. And I do that a lot alone. There are times though, and I feel like that's my anchor, right? That's my anchor. I feel very strong in my anchor. And there are times where I get a little too cast away. And that's when I really want to like connect with my women, with my people, and they pull me back into my anchor so beautifully. And it's such a gift.
Oh, I love that. You just described me perfectly. Thank you. Well, I used to feel like things had to be really hard. And I went through a decade of infertility. And I truly can connect it back now to not feeling like I am a creator. I felt like I was very uncreative.
Did you read the text?
I did, and I already did it.
The creations. Well, it didn't work. You spoke his name.
These are the things that will always happen. So for so long, I didn't feel like I was a creator. I didn't feel creative. I went through infertility. It was like I used to tell people that I was not creative. Like I always believed that I was not a creator. And I'll tell you where it stems from, because I didn't think I was artistic. I am not even joking. I literally believed that I was not a creator because I was not an artistic being. And I mean, it's just so full of craziness. And honey, move along.
Let's move along.
Move along. So anyway, that is something that I feel like I've worked on so deeply over the past, really the past 6 years since I like met you and came online and really dove into all of my stories and like all of these things and really dove into my Reiki practice and numerology and who am I and all of those things like really helped me to recognize and realize who I really am, and who I really am is a multidimensional being in a body. And I just like can't get enough of that like thought, because I mean, it just makes me recognize like that of course I'm a creator. I'm the creator of my experience. I'm the creator of my life, and it makes everything so much more easeful for me, right? So do I think it has to be hard? Not most of the time. Not anymore. I don't think it has to be hard. And I also, another question that came up in this whole thing is really about changing your life through consistent spiritual practice to tap into intelligent creation and consciousness. That is like, I just want to like bathe in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I am feeling just it's like the perception part is what was just coming when you were talking about that. Your perception shifted of what creativity, what creative means.
Mm-hmm.
And once you were able to see yourself as the dynamic creatress that you are.
Right.
I mean, I was laughing because Wyatt came in, right, as you were talking about not, creation.
Yes, right. I do have a child. He is a baby.
Yes, like the mother of creation, right? Your child.
I am like the mother of creation.
Creation comes in all forms. Like I was just saying, Jen and Thrive and Prosper yesterday, you were asking us about what our skills are or what our
values, strengths, skills.
Yeah. And
wild.
Okay. I'm surprised. I have 3 here. I can't believe one hasn't. Maybe I'm more scary than you. No kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
He's been doing live video with me since he was about 2.
Oh, I know. I've seen it. I've been watching.
He's like, I don't care about your videos, Mom. It's irrelevant to me.
I have life, Mom. I need to be fed.
So we were talking about value, strength, values, your strengths, your vision, and your why.
Yeah.
This is what really helps us to be in alignment with our creation, with our creative part, right? Like it allows us to recognize, am I in alignment with my values? Am I in alignment with why I live my life? Am I in alignment with my vision? Am I in alignment with who I am and how I see myself? Whenever I make a decision moving forward, I want to know that I am in alignment with who I am and what my vision is. Otherwise, it's not right for me. It's not time for me.
And that sounds, so it's one of those things, Jen and I also have Center for Spiritual Living in common.
Yeah.
Did you tell me? The only reason I'm asking really quick is because I think things and then like, am I correct about that?
No, you are the one who's actually, well, I mean, I knew about it, but like, no, that is all you, Mama.
Oh, I introduced that to you a little bit. Okay, well, you are whether you know you are or not.
But I do, because I think that is like the path that I should have been on.
I assume that that's the way that you were not maybe raised on, but I assumed you spent some time learning of that spiritual teachings, just because the way you speak and you are Center for Spiritual Living.
It is my level of consciousness. I do embody that. Yeah.
And now I don't even remember why I said that, but just the whole going back to those core principles, those core things, is when you had said that, I was like, my most favorite thing is my creative mind and the creation that we get. We discussed that we are creators of our own reality, and that's very Center for Spiritual Living. But and then yesterday I had the synchronicities of 3 different times that subject came up, and it came up and it said art, life mimics art.
Yes.
And then I was so excited about that. It came up as a post, and then I was watching a TV show, a series, and that quote came up. Life mimics art. And I was like, well, that's cool. And then I thought back on our Thrive and Prosper meeting and how you were discussing that very thing in a different way. It was the same philosophy, but in a different way.
Yeah.
And what I was going to say earlier about the Center for Spiritual Living teaching is that, like, manifestation, change your mind, change your life, that whole thinking.
Yes.
And then what Jen was just saying, it's simple. It's easy to hear you say that, what you were describing, and then be like, oh, that's a simple philosophy. It's not easy, though, always.
It's not. So
simple doesn't equate easy. And so it's and then again, it comes into, it's a practice.
Absolutely.
And so when we believe we are the creatresses of our reality, when we pick up our, quintessential paintbrush and we decide to start painting the picture of what we want our reality to be, that's something that we can understand, that idea of that, but to actually do it is embodiment, is practice, is coming back no matter how many times we stay away from our core, the list you gave us.
Yeah.
And that again is that golden anchor, that core of everything, that the people that you surround yourself with, those principles you listed, those are all the things that are pulling us back to that reality, that we are the ones.
And I believe that is like exactly what it looks like to be thriving, right? Is to recognize that all of those things matter, and it is a practice. You can't just do it once. It's not like I meditated one time
and now I'm good.
And now I'm like enlightened. Like, that's not truth. It's not the truth. The truth is that when we are consistently committed and devoted to who we are and where we're going, that's the thriving. Who am I surrounding myself with all of the time? How am I spending my time? How am I nourishing my body? How am I taking care of myself? It's not a one and done. It's life. It's life as ritual, right? Which I love.
Yes.
Life is living ceremony, which, I want
to that is right
too.
Yeah. Again, easy to understand that that's what it is, but simple to understand that, but it's not always easy. It's as easy as we make it. I guess sometimes, just on that really quick, sometimes, tell me if you relate, I'll make things too hard on myself. Like, I forget how simple a ceremonial thing can be. I forget how simple it can be to shift that one moment of thought. It's we procrastinate because we make the thing bigger than it is. When really, when we just take action, and we talked about this yesterday too.
Yeah.
When you have fear, or when you feel unfulfilled, the best thing to do is take some sort of action. And then we start to realize how simple it really is. It doesn't have, like you were saying, bringing it full circle back to what you said earlier, it doesn't have to be hard.
Right.
But we make it hard on ourselves because we don't realize how the little simple things add up and become part of our nature.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. I love that. I do think that we can make it really hard on ourselves. And that we as women, maybe in particular, have made it really hard on ourselves. Mamas, we make it really hard for ourselves sometimes. And sometimes it's self-imposed, and sometimes it's the nature of things, right?
No, yeah, life is hard. Life can be hard. I'm not saying life, like
Totally.
what's thrown in our paths can
Mhm.
be really fucking hard. It's
Yeah.
not to bypass the difficulty of life.
No.
Being a
I never want to do that, bypass things.
No, and being a human, life can be very hard. It is
Mhm.
what we do with what is thrown in our path, and
Mm.
that's the choice we get. And I know that's a cliche, like we know this, right?
Not though, it's not cliche.
But that's a thing too about with like what was I going to say, affirmations and positive thinking and oh, that's what I was going to say. It's my belief that it isn't, so people will be like, oh, I tried the affirmations for like this and it didn't work. And my response to that for myself is, for me, it's not the actual saying the affirmation that changes anything. It's that when you really dive into that and you feel into that, and that affirmation or the EFT tapping or energy work with Reiki,
Mhm.
or learning something about yourself with numerology, all these different tools, those are just tools, right?
Oh, yeah.
To shift our thinking to help us with belief a little bit more, that changes the way that our attitude is. That changes our
Mhm.
energy. And when we change our energy and we change our mind or our attitude, then that completely changes everything around us. It
Yeah.
impacts the other people's energy, it impacts the way people respond to us, it impacts the way the world responds to us. And then so that is what changes your life. That is what manifests. It's not like, oh,
Yeah.
I said that I have $1 million and then $1 million showed up on my doorstep. It's that
Right.
you felt into that and totally believed in that and then you take action toward making the $1 million.
Right.
If the tree
Like, do you believe that $1 million could be deposited into your bank account today? I mean, it's possible.
right, I mean,
What's your level of belief?
yeah, it's the treat. That another philosophy is the treat and move your feet. So you do
Oh,
the
I love that.
affirmation, you believe in it. That's the prayer. That's like believing in miracles. But
Yeah.
then the move your feet is, okay, well,
It's the
how are you
action.
yeah, the action. How are you gonna work
Yeah.
with the universe? How are you gonna do that?
Right. It's Q, right? It's quantum expansion. We bring it down, we bring the idea down to the heart, we amplify it out, we like sit in the amplification of it, and then we hear something and we do something about it.
Oh, see, I don't know about Q. I'm not a Q person,
You'll learn
so this
more.
is
Yeah.
something maybe for the next podcast.
Yeah. Okay,
But
good.
I want to make sure everybody. I'm just gonna say the thing though, Jen. Don't
Yeah,
hate
do
me.
it.
But Q is not QAnon.
Oh, yeah, no, it's
Can
not
I just
Q.
when I first when I first started seeing Jen and like other people that I highly regard talk about Q, I was like, please tell me. Oh God,
She's
no.
like, we're not doing
I'm like, no, I will
conspiracy
not.
theory QAnon, are we? No, we're
Yeah,
not.
I know this is a funny way to like. I know
And
we're
if
getting
you
close.
are, goodbye. We love
Yeah,
you.
be with whatever. But like,
Move
I
your feet.
just yeah. So we need to speak more on that because I'm not one that I don't.
We'll just call it quantum expansion. It's
Quantum
energy work. It's amazing. You're gonna love it. It's beautiful.
again, I feel like that's very similar, probably, to Center for Spiritual Living teachings.
Totally. Of course
I
it
mean,
is.
it's all. I love once again.
Of course it is. You just got raised in a really fabulous way.
Yeah, I think I'm really grateful for that. I'm really
You were raised in a very conscious home, in a very conscious way. And,
well,
in reality, like, even though my parents weren't
yeah,
in a center for spiritual living,
yeah,
my mom, like, was a highly conscious human being, really just
yes,
a naturally conscious being when I was growing up. And she did a lot of work. We'll call it the work. She did a lot of work when I was
yeah.
growing up and made a lot of changes in herself so that her children could grow up and be us. Like, I mean,
Thank
it's
you, mom.
outstanding.
Thank you, mom. My family and I talk a lot about that. It blows my mind when I look at each individual in my family, and although we've had our very interesting turns and
Yeah.
like tunnels, we've well, not tunnels, rabbit holes we've
Had
gone
life.
down, like human life experience,
Yeah.
but every single human, like my family, I know I'm gonna brag about my family for a minute, but yeah, very beautiful beings, like so. beautiful. Humans are beautiful, but of course, my family is so sacred to me, and it really how awakened they are in their own individual lives. It's just I just can't.
It's just beautiful, isn't
I'm
it?
so grateful for my family.
Ah, I love it. Well, we are close to our time frame, you guys. We're going to try and keep this at around 30 to 35 minutes. And who knows, we might go longer at some point. But we want to thank you all so much for joining us today for episode 1
One in the books
of our brand new fabulous podcast / show. You call it what you like. And we will be back again in 1 week, and time to be determined based on our individual schedules. So we will keep you posted on what that looks like. Again, hello, goodbye. Thank you all so much for joining us. We are so, 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 so grateful. And I think Jennifer and I are going to create some really freaking magical conversations. So it's just going to get better and better. Stay tuned.
Very
Come
excited.
with your questions, right, Jen?
Yes, please. I'm looking at the comments, and we will go in and try to respond to in the comments after this. I'll go back and look at them. Yeah. But I am really excited to have this conversation continue. I know we're going to have magical, beautiful conversations.
Oh, yeah.
And I love the communication with anybody who's listening and watching.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, everyone. We'll see you next time.